He thinks he's kind of a Martin Luther King, symbol of righteousness in this way. He doesn't judge somebody by the color of their skin. Oh, no. He judges them by the content of their wallet. Very, very American. Not Martin Luther King, but very, very American. And the only black person I'm aware of that Dershowitz really loved was O.J. Simpson, who ruined F. Lee Bailey's career. F. Lee Bailey now lives over a hair salon in Maine. Do you know that? Because of that cross-examination of Furman. But honest to God, man, F. Lee Bailey was on Fox Radio. And he was floating this idea out there because people can't understand why Mueller has a second grand jury in D.C. where the crimes of Donald Trump that he's investigating, meaning obstruction of justice, firing Comey, the meetings, blah, blah, with giving code word protected information in the White House Oval Office to Sergei Kislyak and Mr. Lavrov, Sergei Lavrov. They're all named Sergei. That's very easy. Lavrov, the equivalent of the Secretary of State of Russia. Remember, he had that private meeting and he gave code word protected information about Israeli intelligence that he has. Oh, by the way, speaking of Israeli intelligence, Benjamin Netanyahu is under indictment too. Doesn't exactly make it across the ocean, does it? All you people that love Israel so much, you white supremacists that just love Israel because all of us Jews have got to go back there, get killed, and then Jesus will come back. Woohoo! Their end-time philosophy. But Dershowitz was saying something very creepy about why he put the grand jury in Washington. Now, never mind the fact that Mueller works like across the street from where the grand jury in Washington is seated, okay? But this is what he came up with.
You talked about the new grand jury being impaneled in Washington, D.C. with the special counsel, Robert Mueller, overseeing it. What's your sense of the fact that now there is this second grand jury? There was one, of course, in Virginia. Now we know of the existence of this second one.
Well, the second one is important because of where it is. It gives the prosecutor the power to indict in the District of Columbia, which is a district that is heavily Democratic and would have a jury pool very unfavorable to Trump and the Trump administration. So it gives the prosecutor a tremendous tactical advantage. If he wants to bring a case against anybody in the administration, the case now can be brought not in Northern Virginia, which is a swing area, sometimes Democrat, sometimes Republican, but the District of Columbia, which is always solidly Democratic and has an ethnic and racial composition that might be very unfavorable to the Trump administration. So I see the significance, not so much that he impaneled the grand jury. You have to impanel the grand jury to get subpoena power.
You have
but
to.
Where he impaneled it.
Okay. D.C. has an ethnic and racial composition that might be very unfavorable to the Trump administration. Well, I got news for you, Alan. So does America. And yet he still won the election somehow. I got to tell you that was the most disgusting thing. But
no, it wouldn't extricate them because once they're pardoned, then they can't plead the Fifth Amendment right not to incriminate themselves because they're not going to get prosecuted. So they go right in front of that grand jury. That's not going to work. It'll just end with his impeachment. And I got to say, I find Alan Dershowitz's comments about a grand jury to be very offensive. Black people can be just as fair to Donald Trump as white people, and this kind of race baiting is unacceptable. And I'm embarrassed. I'm a graduate of the university that employs him, and for him to be shooting his mouth off that way, talking about the racial makeup of a grand jury, it's offensive. It's offensive to our system of democracy in the United States. And of course he doesn't like grand juries because he spent most of his life defending very rich people who are also very guilty, going all the way back to the Von Bulow trial. Yeah, he doesn't like grand juries, but he doesn't need to bring race into it. The race baiting is unacceptable, and we should not be encouraging that. And, President Trump has been doing a lot of it, people working for him, but I'm shocked to see a prominent law professor engaging in that type of race baiting.
Seriously, Mueller's got 16 lawyers. They're looking at money laundering and financial crimes and bribery and, collusion and cooperation with a foreign adversary. You really think that any American, I don't care, who would listen to a case like that a prosecutor could bring and back up with witness testimony, with evidence, with phone calls intercepted, with email chains that say, we got dirt on Hillary Clinton, the Russian government is behind you, we got that it would matter what color they were to hear a case like that and come to the right conclusion whether or not this man or his family or all of them are guilty or not. This is disgusting. Okay, and this is what scares me, because you have this white supremacist movement in this country that found Donald Trump sufficiently white supreme enough and white enough, even though he's orange. Very weird shade of orange. Orange is the new white.